from Learfield. This is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now here's your host, Tim Hall.
Buckeye fans, here we go. Another edition of the winter-spring Buckeye Roundtable. We got a lot to break down. We got a lot to get to. The countdown continues for the return of Buckeye football. Spring practices, that counts as Ohio State football. There really isn't an off season. There's so much to do. There's so much to talk about from a roster construction point of view, from building the staff. We finally got the official release sometime last week. It was since we last saw each other for Roundtable that all those changes to the Buckeye football coaching staff, that was finally officially announced by the athletics department. So everybody's in place, obviously headlined by Brian Hartline as the new offensive coordinator and Matt Patricia as the new defensive coordinator. We've got the NFL Combine coming up too. I feel like it's a little bit more important this year because I know for a lot of you it's take it or leave it. The care and the focus and the passion is on Ohio State football, but I know there's a good percentage of you that at least in the immediate aftermath, you want to know these guys and they put their blood, sweat, and tears into what was just accomplished at Ohio State. And since they won a national championship, I think there's a little bit more attention given to what these guys are doing in the NFL draft and the fact that they could possibly break the record for most players ever selected in a draft. Georgia had 15 in 2022. 15 are going to the Combine. So that alone should tell you pretty good chances for Ohio State football. We'll start off the football conversation at the middle of the hour, about 6:35. Bill Landis, always great, very in the know with the Kings of the North podcast as well as the podcast. I'll pepper him with some questions about what he's looking at with maybe the Combine, but more about Ohio State's team going into 2025 and what he's looking at for spring practice and who's going to step up for this Ohio State football team in that time period. The National Championship Rewind is going to continue tonight. We'll do that right before we talk to Bill, and we're going to hit a couple of games as we approach the end of the regular season. Why not spend as much time going over this great run of winning the 2024 National Championship? That's what we're doing each episode here, going all the way up to the National Championship. And it's the Purdue game, and we're going to do one more beyond that, a very unique road game for these Ohio State Buckeyes. How about the basketball team? Women's basketball just slipped out of the top 10, but had over a 50-point win against a bad Purdue team. But they went 1-1 this past week, so we'll talk to Kevin McGuff at the end of the hour, see how he's feeling when the shots really started to fall against Purdue yesterday. And the men's basketball team, it is slipping. It really is. I don't know if I want to say spiraling out of control. A lot of people do feel that way. They lost to UCLA yesterday, 69-61. The one thing I could say is that could have been anyway a game on paper that you would have said probably going to be a tough one. Long road trip. It's UCLA. They're now a 20-win basketball team. It's Westwood. It's Pauley Pavilion. It was Bill Walton Day. Mick Cronin's teams always are hard to beat. They play good defense. It was going to be a tough one. But, at the same time, when you have a dud at home against Northwestern, you owe it. You owe it to yourselves more than anything else to go and try to make up for that one. And they were in the fight. They just couldn't get it done. Here was Diebler right after the game. We're going to hear from him next segment anyway, but on how they still have that belief that they can be an NCAA tournament team.
We control our own destiny. That's really the reality to it. We're not in a position where we have no chance to get to where we want to go. We just got to take it one day at a time and live in the moment. That's been the message, Andy. Live in the moment because when we're healthy, we'll go on a run. We got to live in the moment.
They just have to rely on a run now. Whereas before, they had opportunities. If they get that win against Michigan, they were moving closer to a lock. You beat Northwestern even more so. Then you would have been able to play hard and just lose a normal game late in the season. No harm, no foul. You go out there, you play hard, you lose. That happens. It's basketball. It's life. But 3-game losing skid, not exactly what you want to see. I do look down and see, though, the last time they were on the brink and backs against the wall, they lost that game to Indiana at home. That was a 3-game skid. They responded with a 3-game winning streak. They almost need to do that right now. At USC, home against Nebraska, at Indiana, if they want to get back to being an NCAA tournament team. You don't want to lose that, too, because you had that. Basically, since you beat Purdue and beat Maryland, you've sort of been living in the picture, in the projections, even off the bubble line, too. And now on that bubble line, a lot of people having them out at the moment. Well, they do return to action Wednesday night at USC. As I said, our network coverage will begin at 9:45 p.m. late with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show. Coming up, we're going to hear more from Coach Jake Diebler in our radio show Rewind as the Buckeye Roundtable continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. In just a moment, I'm going to tell you why Jake Diebler was pretty positive despite losing his 3rd straight game and falling 69-61 in Westwood to UCLA just yesterday. You can join that man as he looks back at previous games and gets you ready for the week ahead on Inside Ohio State Athletics. Saturday mornings at 11:30 in Columbus on 10 TV and statewide on ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Time now for the Jake Diebler Show Rewind.
All right, let's listen to some thoughts from Jake Diebler. Some of these echoed what he was saying right after the game. I played you that cut in the opening segment about how they believe that they can still be a tournament team. I would really hope that they would think that, and I'm glad to hear it. And every coach is going to be different, right, with how he motivates, how he either chooses to light a fire under somebody's you-know-what, or whether he wants to maybe put an arm around and try to motivate that way. And it could be a little bit of a mixed bag. How he's coaching behind closed doors could be a lot different than how he sits there and talks to the media. There's that as well. But I was a little bit surprised with how positive Jake was speaking right after the loss, because of just the way it feels right now. When you look up at the standings and you see that you're now 7-10, 15-13, and I do think that it's compounded because of the Northwestern game. It's a close loss to Michigan where Bruce Thornton has the ball in his hands right at the end of the game, has an unbelievable look as he breaks down Danny Wolf, and he airballs the two-pointer to tie, which he makes 9 times, maybe 10 times out of 10. Well, how could I say he makes it 10 times out of 10? He missed that one. So we'll go with 9 times out of 10. But you know what I mean? You have a chance to beat your rival and maybe lock up your tournament life. You have a dud against Northwestern that was really just embarrassing, and it couldn't happen. So that one still maybe seeps in for me. And this one was, yes, a better performance, but still you shot 31.7%. You're really not going to beat anybody. Their 2 worst offensive performances of the season have happened in their 2 recent games. So that being said, when your offense has gone out the window, you better be lights out, almost equal defensively. And while they were better defensively, UCLA shot above 40%. They knocked in 8 threes. They did a lot more than Ohio State was able to do. They had 17 assists on their makes to 10 for the Buckeyes. But Diebler, like I said, was positive about some things. This was why.
Our toughness and our togetherness were back to the standard and the level that we needed to be, and that was really good to see. And listen, this team's responded, so there was no question in my mind we were going to have that. You know, in an environment against a team who plays with great physicality and toughness defensively, I thought we did what we needed to do in response to that as well throughout the course of the game. You know, we were a couple shots short, and a couple rebounds short. Just a few possessions that could have changed the entire complexion of the very end.
And I know he knows this because he's said this, that the very, very core of a program, like a pillar, has to be the mentality and how ready and prepared you are to at least get into the fight. That then has nothing to do with what your smarts are going to be in the game and what your execution and your shot making is going to be in a game. And he's also said several times that they cannot be held to making baskets, and that's going to determine what the results of the game are ultimately going to be, because you're going to have off shooting nights, and you have to be able to pivot and win some other ways, which is dominating on the boards, which is playing incredible tough in-your-face defense, diving on the floor for loose balls, all the other things. And they still got dismantled on the boards in this one, 45-34, and I thought Ade Mara, he kind of showed some blemishes that we've all known about for Ohio State in the front court. And while Austin Parks came out, had some minutes for them where he hasn't really played a lot lately, so you respect the effort there, but 3 points and 2 boards. Ivan Yegovan really took a step back. He had 4 rebounds in this one, but did not score. 0 for 3, was having the ball ripped away from him multiple times. Caught one inside the semicircle and couldn't get the ball up on the square. Missed an easy tip in as well. And Sean Stewart, foul trouble. 2 points, 2 rebounds. He might have been dealing with some of the sickness as well. But Diebler, again, message to the team after this loss to UCLA.
Every time we step between the lines, there's no excuses. I don't like how you feel, what's going on, how big the game. Like when we step between the lines, we always play tough, and we always play together. That's what this program, it's important to me to lay that foundation of this program in year one. And I feel like we've done a really good job with that. Didn't do it to the level we needed to. That game, certainly. So that was kind of priority number one, was making sure we got right back to that. Felt like we did that. Again, didn't play a perfect game by any means against UCLA, but we had to get back to that. So we owned, that we didn't do it. We talked about it. We addressed it. And then our guys responded like they have all year.
Yeah, to me, this is a team that is capable. No one really feels it now. I hear from you guys a lot. We chat after every Buckeye basketball game. I'm there on Twitter. Matt Painter doesn't like me to be there, but I mean, I'm not calling for the coach's head or doing crazy things like that. We're just breaking down basketball games. It's year one of a program, and I get it. The passion and the intensity for this program is that you want to see it start by going back to the tournament and then build from there. And you had it here for a while, and it might be slipping away. And I think that's really the crux of the frustration right now, which I completely agree with. It's okay to be frustrated. They're all frustrated. A 3-game losing streak. They have time to get it back. And for one of the better three-point shooting teams in the conference, I know their pace we'd like to see a little bit faster, like what Diebler had when he took over late last season. It hasn't really been that style of play. But if John Mobley gets healthy, he was sickly, and you could see it on him. You could feel it. He only had 8 points and was 3 for 10 again, made a couple threes, but still the consistency with the shots falling are not there. And this man here, who has been a big bright spot down low for the Buckeyes, really the only post presence for Ohio State, and Devin Royal has really not been himself the last couple of games offensively. Jake talked about needing him to power through the struggles now.
He's got to trust his skill. He's got to trust the pass.
Yep.
You know, when he draws two, he's got to trust it and move it. I think he's got to utilize fakes, around the rim. We've talked about that a lot. He and I got to use shot fakes, and because he's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times he gets, close to the rim. It attracts the bigger, taller guys on the court. So, and then I think he's got to utilize cutting, and kind of sometimes gets caught just in with a spacing problem. So either kind of cut through or cut to the rim or space. And, he shot the ball from 3 in the last, month. It's been much better than where he started at the beginning of the season. So he's got to stay confident. He's got to stay aggressive. I think he's got to continue to read those crowds better, Ron. But, it's also he's, like you talk about, you become a really good player. You earn the attention, right, of the other team at a high level, and that's what he's seen.
Well, they're going to face a frustrated team here at the end of this road trip. And just one more word on Devin Royal, too. I look at him in particular, and it adds up, right? It adds up to the production and what's been the bottom line for him from a scoring output. Also his rebounding, too, and his taking care of the basketball. I would love to see him lock in a bit more, because Jake talked about the togetherness and the toughness. And obviously, if you don't bring that, you're going to get run out of the gym. You'll get run out of the gym by Northwestern on your home court. We've established that. That's the very baseline of what you've got to bring this time of year. And you can see it on Devin's face a little bit, too, where he also is getting frustrated when he's not playing well. It's got to end. They've got to find a way to connect with him to get that to end. They've had conversations with him on how aggressive they need him to be. They want him to be. It's all there for you. You're a starter on this team. You can go out there and score 25 to 30 points if you feel like it. That is what you can do in this offense, in this structure, because they are more of a half-court team, and they want to play through the paint and at least get some touches, even if they're not going to score down low. So whether that's him scoring and taking opportunities with the pump fakes, with those looks, or kicking out to an open shooter, but making a nice, crisp, on-target pass, all that is there if he can do it. They really need it for him. USC, by the way, they had 2 guys go for 53 points, and they lost on the road to Rutgers by 10. And they're coming back now. They were just on the road yesterday. They're coming back home, and now are going to get this Ohio State team that's, I guess, able to be a little bit more comfortable in their hometown. Like, they lost. I know that's not comfortable, but they're there waiting, getting able to practice and stay in a very nice hotel and be together. Hopefully they're using this time for the right things and doing it the right way, and they'll respond. They got to win. They can't just play well anymore. They got to go out and win and get a dub against USC. So they're going to have to really go out and earn it. Coach's comments were presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. We keep looking back at our national championship run, and we're going to highlight one of the feel-good moments of the year. We hit our national championship rewind next as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including all-wheel drive versions of the best-selling Corolla. Now through March 3rd, get low-rate financing on a Corolla or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $229 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Can't wait to do our national championship rewind here in moments. Buckeye fans, say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings with a fixed price plan with AEP Energy. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And be sure to tune in each game for the AEP Energy halftime report.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Road to the National Championship Flashback. Hit it!
All right, I am going to hit it. We're going to go to Ohio State, Purdue. That's where we are here today. That's where we're picking up. We did a 2-game pack last week. We did home against Nebraska on Saturday, October 26th. The Buckeyes won that one narrowly. That was scary. Didn't know what the heck was going on with this team. 21-17. Needed a late touchdown to beat a Nebraska team that not a lot of people love for, college football playoff type of things. Maybe someday with Matt Rule. Clearly, they were not ready to take a step this year. They were not close. Penn State on the road, though. That was a big-time game, and that was a big-time moment for Buckeye football in 2024. Number 3 in the country, going on the road. It's Happy Valley. It's not the whiteout at night, but hey, that's what you get when you got like a million straight noon kickoffs to end the season. They win that game 20-13, and that was one where they were behind the 8 ball, down 10-0 with some mistakes from Will Howard, but he's always there to come back from those mistakes. So we go to Saturday, November 9th against Purdue, and there's a really funny moment in this one, too, that has to do with the broadcast. Not ours, but the telecast. But we start things off here, and if you remember the script of that one, I don't want to spend too much time on this one because the Buckeyes would get by the Boilermakers with relative ease. But Jeremiah Smith, record-breaking score here.
Tate, Scott, and Ennis wide right. Smith wide left. Henderson to the left of quarterback Will Howard, who's in a shotgun.
Howard gets the snap, sets up at the Purdue 27 to throw. Fires down on the right flat, caught by Smith, 15, races to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Smith.
I mean, you hear Jim Lachey just laughing. I mean, that's a simple drag route. I think Jeremiah was lined up on the left side of the formation, and just cornerback's playing about 10 yards off of him, just a simple drag route under the formation. He gets the ball delivered to him around the hash, and he's into the end zone. Just guy can't catch him. It's just simple. 9th touchdown. Or 9 straight games with a touchdown for Jeremiah Smith as a true freshman. Sets an Ohio State record right there. Amazing stuff by him. The Buckeyes are up 21-0. Then in the third quarter, this was a really nice play by Lathan Ransom. Some love for the defense.
Quick snap, Hudson Card, straight back to pass his Card. He'll fire that one down the right sideline, and it's intercepted by Lathan Ransom in the end zone. Brings it out to the 10-yard line. Lathan Ransom still on the move. He's grabbed by a Purdue defender, gets off of him, moves to the 15. And Ransom is tackled at the 24-yard line by Jamal Edrin. But Lathan Ransom comes up with his 4th career interception.
You really got to love that when you fool the quarterback. He fooled Hudson Card. He drifted towards the middle of the field like he was going to leave. He was going to protect the seam. And then he immediately went back when he saw that Hudson Card wanted the go route in the corner of the end zone and just went there and was ready and waiting to pick it off and had a nice little run back as well. Travion Henderson then pouring it on here for the Buckeye offense later in the third quarter.
Out of the huddle, Will Howard, quarterback, will get under center Seth McLaughlin. Quinshon Judkins straight behind him at tailback. Motion by Henderson, who gets a fly sweep running right side. Henderson to the Purdue 20, 15, 10, a 5. Henderson touchdown. Sticks it in the right corner of the end zone. Travion Henderson.
I mean, what are you going to do? Travion Henderson is lined up in the slot, right, as a receiver. You've got Quinshon Judkins in the backfield. You bring Travion Henderson, who's one of the most prolific playmakers in college football with that kind of speed, and it's a jet sweep to him. I mean, come on. The things Chip Kelly was throwing at you, pretty unfair. This is where I want you to hear both parts of it. Jack Sawyer. You remember Jack Sawyer had a big play in the Purdue game when this one was already done. It was 31-0, but this is what happened.
Reggie Love is behind Hudson Card in a pistol formation. Love gets a handoff, running left side, bounces off Jalen Tuimoloau. He fumbles the football, and that's going to be picked up by Jack Sawyer and run into the end zone for a touchdown. Ohio State defensive end Jack Sawyer picked up the loose pigskin as defensive end Jalen Tuimoloau had knocked it out of the hands of Reggie Love. And Ohio State gets their 3rd defensive touchdown of the year. They lead at 37-0.
All right, so that was a pretty normal call from our legend, Paul Keels, right there, our play-by-play voice. Do you remember how Gus Johnson for Fox just, that Gus, not really sounding like Ron Lewis's, great three-point shot when the Buckeyes were playing Xavier in the NCAA tournament. It was pretty subdued on that call.
First down to the 25 for Purdue, and a fumble on the play. Ohio State is there. They pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. Jack Sawyer.
Just done, right? Just done. I've seen enough of Ohio State and Purdue. So Buckeyes roll 45-0. This was Ryan Day on doing this without a key defensive lineman.
Tyleek was available. He could have played, but we felt like we were going to hold him unless we really needed him. Plan on getting him back for next week, full go. But it was good to see some other guys step up and have to get in there and play. And it's everybody across the board. I thought the DBs were solid in coverage. I only think they had I don't know how many, 9 completions. So anytime that happens, 3 sacks, you get in the backfield, it makes a big difference.
All right, so what is it now? We wrap that up 45-0. The Buckeyes beat Purdue, no problem, right? And you actually started to feel a little bit better about this team and how the defense was back and pitching a shutout. It's a team you have to beat, but to pitch a shutout, that's substantial. And you're going to Wrigley Field to play Northwestern on Saturday, November 16th. When you go up there, it's a road game, the Windy City, the weather conditions always come into play, certainly mid-November as well, and you're trying to squish a football field into a baseball field. The idea of it is great, right? And I think from a fan's perspective, that's great. Some things as a player and the logistics, not so great. We couldn't even see the corner of the field, too, as viewers on the telecast, so that was a thing. But it's always tough early on against Northwestern. Something about them, they always make you play at least into that second quarter before you can take off, and they made a huge mistake, and the Buckeyes made them play.
Renner is set up at about his own 13. A high snap through his hands, and it's rolling inside the 5-yard line. Renner's going to pick it up at the 1 and get the punt away, but it's blocked out of the back of the end zone. Well, it was Caden Curry who first tracked it down. That'd be a safety. as Hunter Renner found himself having to deal with a high snap. Gabe Powers was back there as well, but Northwestern with a special teams game.
The punt was blocked, and it went out of bounds short of the goal line.
The 1 yard line.
Ohio State's ball, first and goal.
So rather than a safety, the Buckeyes will have it first and goal at the 1.
Buckeyes made him pay. Horrible decision right there by the Northwestern punter. Basically gave the Buckeyes another touchdown right there. And then the story of this day, one of the feel-good moments of the year, started to take over when this man, Carnell Tate from Chicago, just put on some highlights.
2nd and 8, Ohio State at the Northwestern 25-yard line. Howard gets the snap. He's going to pass again. Looking, and he arches that one to the right corner of the end zone for Carnell Tate. Got it for a score. Carnell Tate ran under that ball. It was thrown. It's a 25-yard pass play. Will Howard to Chicago native Carnell Tate. And the Buckeyes have a 20-7 lead.
That was the one you couldn't even see from the primary angle on TV, but he was horizontal when he went over the goal line. An incredible catch by Carnell. Great throw as well from Will. Another one for Carnell when it was 21-7.
Will Howard in the gun. Judkins in the backfield with him. And Howard throws on the right side, caught by Tate inside the 5. He rolls into the end zone, and another touchdown for Carnell Tate on an 8-yard pass play from Will Howard, the sophomore from Chicago. On the receiving end as that play goes to the right side and increases Ohio State's lead to 27-7.
Carnell Tate is a young man that's dealt with some adversity in his life. And people that know that story, how he lost his mom, you'll hear Coach Ryan Day talking about that. But just a really, really cool thing for him to have a lot of friends and family in the building and to do that in a 31-7 win and to have the game of his life as they beat the Wildcats.
Carnell's not someone who talks about himself or really even want me talking about him right now and everything that he's been through, but we all know that he lost his mom, and he does not show that every day when he's here. And we say it all the time that the game doesn't care about what you've been through. When you cross that line, you go onto the field, the game doesn't really care, but we do. His teammates do, his coaches do, the people who know Carnell care a lot about him. And just the way that he's handled himself has just been an example to everybody. And we care a lot about him, and to see him get 2 touchdown passes in his hometown in front of a big, I think he had over 25 people here watching him. I know it means a lot to him, but it also means a lot to us. And I'm really happy for him today.
It's really cool. Everybody in Buckeye Nation was happy for Carnell. I'm amazed he only had 4 touchdown catches this year. We know he could have 14. He's that good of a player. 52 catches, 733, half of his touchdown receptions in that game that we just listened to as the Buckeyes got their 10th win of the season. And that was a big move. Big move for Ohio State that day to just get the job done. They went to 9-1 after they beat Northwestern 31-7. Who is going to steal the show this spring for this Buckeye football team? We're going to hit the red zone with Bill Landis as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
As the official hot dog of Ohio State athletics, Sugardale is dedicated to delicious. Whether you're cheering on the Buckeyes at the game or grilling at your home tailgate, you can count on Sugardale to score a touchdown. Made right here in Ohio for more than 100 years, Sugardale has always taken a personal approach to making great tasting, high-quality meats. Look for Sugardale hot dogs, bacon, ham, and more at your local grocery store.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall, about to talk some Buckeye football things with Bill Landis in just a moment. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato's, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
All right, our man Bill Landis from the Kings of the North podcast, from The Podcast. Thanks for joining us. You excited for spring ball? You only have another few weeks before it starts up.
Yeah, usually we're gearing up for it to start next week, so it's kind of odd that we have still a couple weeks left to build up to it. But yes, very, very excited. As fun as the national championship season was, I'm also very much looking forward to covering the 2025 version and getting that started.
A lot of change, a lot of change. And look, we were just, I don't know if you caught any of that last segment, but we were doing a national championship rewind, and so we made our way through the Purdue game and the Northwestern game. And Carnell Tate, even though he only had 52 yards, he had two big plays with the touchdowns and in front of a lot of family. And that was a big deal for him. We know how good of a player he is. As you kind of look at Brian Hartline taking over, we know Carnell is going to be a big chip on this team, moving up with Emeka Egbuka being gone. Any thoughts about either what Carnell Tate might evolve into or other things that you can see Brian Hartline sort of toying around with on this offense?
Yeah, Carnell, I think, is in line for a big year. I thought what was most impressive about him is that, he lagged behind, I guess, a little bit in terms of targets behind Emeka Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith. But when those games came around where they had to rely on him more, it always sort of felt like Carnell answered that call pretty well. So that was very reassuring for me. And so if you just try to extrapolate that and look into next year where he'll probably be number two in the team in targets, I'd imagine, behind Jeremiah Smith. I think he's ready for all of it. And when we think about the attention that Jeremiah Smith's going to get next year, the next 2 years, Carnell Tate probably is going to be a pretty big beneficiary of that. It reminds me a little bit of Emeka Egbuka, in my opinion, never quite got his due because one year he was playing alongside Marvin and then another year he was playing alongside Jeremiah Smith, but he still found a way to be a 1,000-yard receiver with each guy. And,
right.
and I think that could be a similar career path for Carnell. So he's a huge part of it. And, I think there's obviously a ton of reason to be excited about the room in general beyond those top two guys. I think Brandon Ennis is a really intriguing player and an important leader for the team. Bryson Rogers, I think, has a lot of potential as a guy who's not played a ton yet. And I think Mylan Graham, who was a professional this past season, who didn't really play much at all. He's another former five-star guy who maybe some folks were out of sight, out of mind a little bit on him, but I think he's going to be a stud at Ohio State. So they're young beyond, or inexperienced, I should say, beyond Jeremiah and Carnell, but they're as talented as they've ever been in that room.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of interesting offensive players right there that could take steps for the Buckeyes. Bill Landis is with us. I saw Bill at a sports card trading night this weekend. So if I were to either pull a card from either like Panini or Bowman of another Buckeye that could really take a step this year, who would I want to get my hands on?
Oh man, Jeremiah Smith cards are hard to come by.
That's
so
true.
If you get your hands on it, He's not really in any of the products. He has cards that are few and far between. So if you can get your hands on them, they're actually fairly rare and obviously pretty valuable. That's a good question. I mean, Julian Saying is another obvious one, right? He's the quarterback stepping up, and he does have stuff, including some autographs. So I try to snag those, although his market's always been pretty hot. I honestly, as a defender of myself, I might say like a Brandon Ennis. He's really, I think, showed some patience the last 2 years, just sort of biding his time and stepping up when needed. I think providing some pretty key plays, like without the ball in his hands, like as a blocker, as a guy that they can put out there and be a bit of a decoy sometimes with motions and things like that. And now, obviously, there's just a lot of targets available, and he plays in the slot like Emeka Egbuka did. So he's probably one that, again, despite being a former 5-star prospect, maybe off the radar a little bit, especially for people outside of Columbus.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see him being on the radar once the season starts.
That's good. A couple of those names I actually did find cards of. I found the rated prospects, Julian Saying one, and I found a Brandon Ennis in a Bowman pack. So that's nice. I'm off and running.
Nice.
For all those folks that are back in on the card hobby right now, it is hot, and there's college football ones out there. It's pretty cool. So we flip to the defensive side. Where did you come down? This is kind of a divide in Buckeye Nation with the Matt Patricia hire. It's locked in now. Is the trust there in Ryan Day with what he's doing? Where did you come down with the hire, and how do you think that's going to change the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Day's are a benefit of the doubt. I have questions about it that maybe I don't know if people are in the same camp as me, but you look at Matt Patricia's career and what he's done away from Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and obviously it's not been very good. That doesn't mean he won't be good at Ohio State. It's just leaving with some questions about him being like a sure thing to do. And I understand he's won 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator and a third as an assistant with the Patriots. Like I don't think you do that sort of by accident. But I wonder a little bit about transition to the college game, which hasn't done since 2003. I think it's been when he was in Syracuse. So there's some stuff there that I question, but there's a ton there that you can like too. I think when you look at the fact that he's more of a defensive linebacker kind of guy, to pair him with Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri as like code coordinator and passing game coordinator, I think there's some exciting things there about melding some ideas together, and perhaps even Ohio State maybe playing with a little more of a hybrid defensive front and not always being such a stagnant forward out front. So it's a mixed bag for me personally. But I understand why people are excited about it because of the Super Bowl background, and obviously Ryan Day has earned a fair bit of benefit of the doubt, I think, with the national championship ring on his finger now.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Bill, real quick, are you covering the Combine this week?
No, I'm not covering the Combine. I actually haven't covered it for a couple of years.
That's what I thought.
It's actually funny. It's funny to me how many college writers cover it, because it's a huge event for the NFL, and I understand why the NFL covers it wall to wall, but it's like I've always felt like college fan bases are more interested in the following year's team and less so interested in what the draft's going to look like once those guys cycle out. So, no, I will not be there this week.
I totally get that. And I kind of said it in the opening today, how I understand there's that percentage that are more looking at the 2025 Buckeyes. But since these guys just won you a national championship, I get there might be a little more in the number that they're taking. So I might keep an extra eye on it, but we'll see. No one hardly ever performs the top guys, but could be interesting to see what Travion Henderson does. I think he could be a heck of a piece in the NFL. I think all of us that are in need of running backs wouldn't mind having a guy like Travion. He is really good, and he can pop. Well, Bill, always appreciate the time. I'll see you at the next trade night. All right, buddy?
All right, sounds good, man. Talk to you later.
Yep, good stuff. There goes Bill Landis. Check out his stuff, Kings of the North podcast and The Podcast. Always great Buckeye coverage. The Foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State home men's hoops game this season. Proceeds supporting community-based NIL opportunities and The Foundation charities. For more on how you can participate, visit The Foundation social media channels. We're talking women's hoops with Coach Kevin McGuff after their 50-point win as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours. a team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through March 3rd, get 4.99 APR financing on Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $289 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 13th at the 2025 Ohio State Four-Mother, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostatefourmiler.com. Go Bucks!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back. I'm Timmy Hall. The 2025 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer is going to set sail on the Silver Sea Silver Moon. Intimate ship with an even better experience, all-inclusive beverages, shore excursions, taxes, gratuities. Sail from Fort Lauderdale to bucket list ports like Jamaica and Nassau, Bahamas with plenty of former Buckeye greats. Call 614-792-6004 to book today. Always a good night to talk some women's basketball. And boy, Coach McGuff, you guys had the offense going against Purdue. That was nice to see.
Yeah, no, we had, been a little bit cold on the offensive end of the floor here of late. So it was nice to see us get going. And, we played really well early, and it just kind of rolled from there. So hopefully that will kind of give some of our players who have been struggling a little bit some confidence as we move forward.
What do you ever do as a coach to try to help players bust out of shooting slumps? Are there things you can do, or you just kind of have to let them work out of it naturally?
It's hey, get in the gym, get shots up, and try to emphasize game speed type of shots, so they're really getting a lot of reps. Also talk to them about getting some balance, especially 3-point shooters, hey, get around the basket, get a layup, get to the free throw line, see it go in a couple different ways, and maybe you'll get some confidence with that. And then lastly, just take good shots. Make sure we continue to take good shots.
Yeah, I was going to say, you would never actually confront a player about missing shots, right? It's always what you just said, sort of do something else to find some balance. That's how you can kind of get the other facets of your game cooking.
Yeah, it's mostly about find some balance in your game and the shots you're taking, and make sure you're taking good shots.
So, Kevin, take us back to the Indiana game. I know we talked about this before, but when you've had a lot of wins and the season gets long, obviously it becomes a grind. As you see the calendar and it's late February, and does a mental aspect creep in there where everyone's trying so hard to prepare for March Madness and you're a lock tournament team? Is it sometimes a case of your guard drops down a little bit and that's why some of these games have maybe been a little bit more difficult for your team?
Yeah, and I think sometimes, fatigue mentally and physically can play into it, and not to make excuses because we pride ourselves on being prepared for every game. But in the Indiana game in particular, give them credit. They played well, and they shot it really, really well.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And in that game, we were coming off 2 overtime games in a row. And also that was a weird week because we played that Monday afternoon game where we went to overtime versus Iowa, and we just expended a lot of energy and just looked a little flat against Indiana, and they played well. And then I think specifically in that Indiana game as well, we missed a lot of shots and didn't get a whole lot back on the offensive rebounding side of it. And I think that's where we probably could have won the game if we would have been a little more active in that space.
Well, in the Indiana game, too, was one of those examples of how your press can really work, but sometimes the other side, you turned them over 21 times, but Indiana had 21 assists, which is a high number in that game.
Yeah, we turned them over 21 times, but just didn't get a lot of conversion off of that. We didn't convert that into points off turnovers like we normally do, and I think that really hurt us as well. Because sometimes even when we're not shooting well, if we can get some easy baskets off the press, it can really go a long way.
So what are you guys thinking about as a team, next thing up? Because with where the standings are right now, USC and UCLA, both up there at 15-1 and 14-1, obviously it's a tremendous season and 2 big games against top 25 teams. But with where a regular season championship is right now, what is your team's focus? What are you trying to get them to think about each time out?
Really just practice on a daily basis in the next upcoming game, which happens to be a terrific Michigan State team who's playing really, really well right now. So that's just really where we want our focus is just practice to get better, get prepared for the next game, and take it game by game, and hopefully continue to just get a little bit better here as we head towards March.
And those Spartans, break down the Spartans a little bit more because, like we said, 2 top 25 teams. Starts with the last game at home. The last home regular season game obviously is always huge. So that's coming up here in a couple nights on the 26th at 7 p.m. What do you want to see, hopefully, for that home crowd, and what is Sparty going to bring to the table?
I mean, a big home crowd would really go a long way, just to create a tough environment for Spartans to come in and play in. But they're very talented. They play a lot like us. They press. They really spread the floor. They shoot the 3 really well. And so I think our ability to not turn the ball over and attack their full court pressure and hopefully get some easy baskets at the end of it will be huge. But our defense and our rebounding is going to have to be really, really elite for us to win that game.
Now, when you score the way that you do, Purdue obviously is not one of the better teams in the conference this year, but to beat them like that, 98-46, do you almost want to see some of that save some of the offense for these last couple of games, right?
Exactly. I was thinking that. I was thinking, we're up 30 and 40 and we're just raining in shots everywhere. And I was like, well, where were those last Thursday, or can we get some of those this coming Wednesday? So we'll see. Hopefully we got a few more in us.
We've talked about Jelani Cambridge a lot, but to see a true freshman that's doing what she's doing, how many players have you coached that you can recall being able to do what she did? Really, and it's not even just here lately. She's been doing this all season long from Jump Street.
Yeah, she's a great kid, number one, and just fun to coach. And but she's had a terrific season, and hopefully she's still got enough energy to kind of get to the finish line here the rest of this year, because we need her. We rely on her for quite a bit, and she's just been fun to watch. And I still think her best days are certainly still ahead of her.
Kevin, I don't know if I've asked you this before, but where is your favorite place for a Big Ten tournament?
Well, I do like Indianapolis. I think just the way that downtown lays out, it's easy to get around, and there's a lot of hotels, so it's easy to get to the venue. And it's also, there's a lot of schools within driving distance, so we usually have great crowds, including the Buckeyes come over there and really have a great presence. So Indy's an awesome place. I will tell you, I am looking forward to it in 2 years. We're going to be in Vegas And so I think that'll be interesting. I've played there plenty of times, but never had a tournament there. So I think that'll be an interesting one as well. But right now, I would say Indianapolis.
Yeah, looking forward to the Vegas trip, are we?
Yes. I think, with these West Coast teams, it makes sense, and it's a great destination for people to come watch, and I think we could get a lot of Buckeye fans out there.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, good luck. A couple of big games coming up. It starts in a couple nights against the Michigan State Spartans. Go get it done.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Absolutely, Kevin. Always fun to talk to you. How about that? Looking forward to a tournament in Vegas. Well, we have so much good stuff coming up in hour 2 of Buckeye Roundtable. Don't you go anywhere. More Buckeye coverage next.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's new $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5. It's the new $5 Pizza Pals menu from Donato's. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag #BuckeyesCare.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland.
I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling RAV4. Now through March 3rd, you can get 4.99 APR financing on a new gas-powered 25 RAV4. Or lease a gas-powered 25 RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours. A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Gearing up for the Buckeyes game? Get your living room ready with feature-packed finds from Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop reclining sofas, sectionals, and love seats that have everything you need for a winning watch party. We're talking zero-gravity, recline, and power headrests, built-in USB ports, drop-down tables with cup holders, all for hundreds, even thousands less than the competition. See how much you can save President's Day weekend at Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to Buckeye Roundtable. I am Timmy Hall. Speaking of Buckeye men's basketball, they return to action Wednesday night at 10:30 at USC, a game they gotta have. Our pregame coverage begins at 9:45. Right now, though, it's time to talk a little high school hoops.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each roundtable, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. This week's winner, Quinn Kwasniak, senior from Cornerstone Christian Academy. Now, Quinn has been on a chase all season long as he's been climbing up the ladder to be Ohio's all-time leading scorer in high school basketball history. That's amazing, right? That record, that's a Buckeye great in sharpshooter John Diebler, 3,208 points. Wow. Head coach Jake Diebler's older brother, as we know. Going into the last couple of regular season games, he was just 189 points away from that mark, meaning it's likely coming down to the state tournament. The Patriots are next up Wednesday versus Wellsville. Dad and Coach Babe Kwasniak, I'm sure, are really proud of the player Quinn has turned into. He's on his way to Army. That is incredible. Congratulations once again to Cornerstone Christian Academy's Quinn Kwasniak, the recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for the American Dairy Association Midi statewide top performers on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Let's pop it around the state real quick, staying in the Cleveland area. How about the job by Padua to hold off a feisty Cleveland Central Catholic team in the Division III tournament opener? 54-42 win. Really good game by senior Riley Cervenka, who helped the Bruins get hot in the fourth with 2 quick threes. He had a team-high 19 points to help secure the win. Another shout-out to someone breaking a Diebler record. For those that didn't know he was like that, Jake holds the Ohio high school all-time records for assists and steals in a career until Richmond Heights' De'Eric Barber came around, as he just broke Diebler's career assist mark, moving past Diebler's 835 career dimes. That was back on February 22nd when they beat Northwestern 111-25. Yikes! That's a yikes high school basketball score alert right there. Diebler in his day played 3 years at Fostoria and 1 year at Upper Sandusky. Looking to the Columbus area, how about the Olentangy Orange Pioneers? Finished off a 20-2 regular season, went 10-0 in conference play. They beat Liberty 72-53 to seal the deal and sweep the Pats for the year. Devin Brown had 18 in that game to lead 4 Pioneers in double figures. And in the Dayton area, shout out to Newton junior guard Luke Cornett. Had a game-high 19 points in a very low-scoring affair as they held off Cedarville 41-37 in a Division VII second-round game. Coach Michael Cantrell installed a 2-3 zone, which he said he never done in this season yet, to overcome an 8-point second-half deficit as they went on to win the game. Our top performers from around the state were presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk has 8 grams of high-quality protein with the power to fuel everyone from elite athletes to weekend warriors. Back to some Ohio State men's basketball while we have a few moments here, because one of the things that I am very intrigued by is the metrics. You know, there's the feel, the mood, the tone of this team, which 100% has to be factored in, and I am factoring that in. When I throw out predictions, I almost want to put the heat on them. I don't know. I'm kind of on the outside right now with the Buckeyes being an NCAA tournament team with what we've seen in these last 3 games. Need to see a light bulb turn on. Need to see some of the sickness leave the room and guys get healthy and shots start to fall, because when that ball sticks, like this is a team that relies on the 3. Their offensive number right there, their offensive efficiency rating is still solid. They're 42nd in the country. You'd like to see that a little bit higher. Their defense is still top 40 at 35. They played much better defense against UCLA, which was nice to see. But for 15-13, that's their overall record. The thing that I would point out is when I look at the metrics, I look at KenPom a lot. And they're one of the key guys in college basketball that just basically tells you how good of a college basketball team this is. Ohio State is ranked 33rd right now, and ESPN's bracketology has the Buckeyes in, but they're the last 4 in, meaning they would play their way through Dayton. So anywhere you look, Jerry Palm, CBS, has the Buckeyes out. Lenardi has them as one of the last teams in the Big Dance, but KenPom has them as the number 33 team in the country. And for a 15-13 team, a 13-loss basketball, they are far and away the highest-ranked team in the country with that many losses. You have to go all the way down the rankings until I see, go figure, Northwestern, the team that just came into Columbus, and they're looking at that as a pretty good win, but they're 54th. They're nowhere near a tournament team. They're 14-13. They're 54th. There's some 10-loss teams, some 11-loss teams, but no 13-loss team that is as high as Ohio State. So, case in point, it's a crazy roller coaster season for the Buckeyes where they've just got some big, high-quality wins that allow them to stay in the mix this year versus what other bubble teams have done. Texas to start the season, though Texas is okay. I'm looking right at them. They're 40th right now, but you know the drill. They beat Kentucky. They're 16th right now. Even Purdue, as they're sliding, they're 17th. You beat them in a true road affair. You beat Maryland. Maryland is 15th right now in the KenPom. That's a big win, and you've got some more opportunities here and a Big Ten tournament coming up. Again, I am not so sure if they're going to pull this off right now with what we're seeing. Would absolutely hope and wish that I will see it. Can they win all 3 of these games down the stretch? I don't think they can. It's going to start Wednesday night, late night against USC, against a team that has lost 3 in a row and just lost on the road at Rutgers and has to travel all the way back. So they're going to be backs against the wall and playing a little bit angry and inspired as well. So it should be interesting to see what kind of Buckeye team we see come out there next. All right, we'll flip it back to football. What are the Buckeyes' chances with a major offensive line prospect? We're going to talk recruiting with Mick Walker of Letterman Row next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grill Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through March 3rd, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 6.49 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models with $1,681 per thousand borrowed, subject to approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back. Our show is presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. I'm excited to have a new recruiting expert join us on the show tonight. You guys can visit your local BK restaurant, grab your $20 Buckeye Blitz bundle. That includes 2 Whoppers. One's not enough, right? A cheeseburger, 3 small fries, 3 small drinks, and a custom OSU crown. Only at Burger King, where you rule.
It's time to talk Ohio State recruiting. This is Buckeye Roundtable's On the Trail.
All right, we go to the line now. Mick Walker from Letterman Road joining us to break down some Buckeyes and some recruiting. Mick, thanks for joining us. What's the top of the list right now, thing to do? Because a lot of change with this Buckeye staff. Is that all settled right now?
Yeah, I think for the most part that seems all settled. So now it's really just been, especially Tyler Bowen, the new offensive line coach, getting some new offers out to the guys. And we had an article on Letterman Road last week. He's been in touch with over 20 offensive linemen already in the 26 class, which has kind of been a welcome change from Justin Fry, who was more of a small board recruiter.
That's good. So I know there's some big offensive linemen out there that Ohio State has very high on their target board. Tell us about some of these guys. We got the kid from Nixon, Missouri, right? Jackson Cantwell. That would be a huge get if the Buckeyes could move on him.
Yeah, just got named the number 2 overall prospect in our new on 3 rankings today, and I think he's probably the guy at number 1 on the board for Ohio State in the 26 class. First prospect that Ryan Day and Justin Fry at the time visited during the January contact period when they first, after the national championship. I think he's somebody that they would love to get in the class, and they're going to do pretty much everything they can to get him in. He's set to visit in March for a couple-day visit, multi-day visit before he heads up to Michigan the following day. So he's going to get a whole tour of the Big Ten here, and I think Ohio State's in a good spot, but he's down to a top 6 and will probably take a handful of official visits. So it's going to be a contested one in there. And then the other one that I think Ohio State fans really are all in on right now is Felix Ojo out of Mansfield, Texas, Lake Ridge High School. He's a guy that's risen up the rankings a ton. I think we named him the number 10 overall prospect today at On 3. He has a ton of offers. Texas and Ohio State seem to be the 2 that are kind of duking it out in the front. And he's somebody at 6'7", 280, 290 pounds. That could be a cornerstone left tackle if you get him in there. And he was one of the first guys that Tyler Bowen reached out to after he kind of got named the Ohio State offensive line coach.
Yeah. So we're mentioning Bowen a lot now, and he's one of those guys that maybe we haven't talked the most about with all the changes with the Ohio State staff, because there's been some high-profile ones, right? I mean, you got Matt Patricia, Brian Hartline moving up. That's going to dominate a lot of the talk. But You seem to be pretty high on Bowen and looking at his past and what he did at Virginia Tech. And as a recruiter, this seems to be a guy that can do a lot for Ohio State here, and he'll have his work cut out for him. That's for sure.
Yeah, he seems to be really high energy, which has been, like, again, a welcome sight because Justin Fry was more of a relaxed recruiter on the trail. Bowen's been calling guys every day. I got a text from my recruit today that Drew Evers, who's scheduled an official visit. He's another Texas guy. He said that Bowen reached out to his father today. So, I mean, Bowen's talking to kids, parents, coaches. He's talking to everybody he can in these recruitments. And, it's been a welcome sight because a lot of the times in the past, Ohio State's kind of been quiet or a little bit more relaxed and chill and scheduled with their contact with offensive linemen. Bowen's been going all in. And it helps, too, that, I mean, he's able to recruit a lot because Ohio State went out and hired 2 former Power 4 offensive line coaches as analysts, and Charlie Dickey and Marcus Johnson, to kind of supplement the coaching aspect in the room with him. So they've done everything they can to not just make the offensive line room the same, but kind of improve it. And I think that's been an emphasis for Ryan Day this offseason. We know that Matt Guerrieri, I think right when he came in, he kind of helped to seal the deal with Caleb Downs, or at least he went on that trip, and that was maybe one of the first things he did when he came back here to Ohio State. But we know what a good guy he is. We know how personable he is and why that makes him an asset as a recruiter. What is he up to right now? I know Braylon Womack, that's a name that we've been hearing a lot, and seeing you write about him or tweet about him today. That's a big-time prospect from down in Mississippi as well. Yeah, so we updated the rankings at On 3 today. Ohio State's in it really for the top 3 safeties in the country, and that would be Braylon Womack, who's our new number 1 safety, Blaine Bradford, who's a high 4-star, 5-star guy in our industry rankings, out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Baton Rouge Catholic High School, but Ohio State went down there. Ryan Day and Matt Guerrieri went down there. Again, they flew from Nixon, Missouri to Baton Rouge to go see Blaine Bradford on the first day that Ryan Day was out on the recruiting trail. So he's another top target. And then the third guy would be Jet Washington out at Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. He's a nephew of the late Kobe Bryant. He plays both sports at Bishop Gorman and is a stud for both of them. So he's visited a couple times because of those new kickoffs that I know everybody loves. He didn't get to make the trip out west to Columbus for a game day visit, but I imagine we'll see him this spring. He's already made a couple trips out. So those are the 3 guys at safety, the Braylon Womack, Blaine Bradford, and Jet Washington. But I think Ohio State has a great shot at landing at least one of them. And then if you can maybe swing a Jet Washington and a Braylon Womack, getting Blaine Bradford out of the South would be tough. But those other 2 guys, I think Ohio State could really be in a pole position for. Mick Walker, Buckeye recruiting specialist for Letterman Row and On 3, is joining us here on Buckeye Roundtable. As we look into the future, we know that Chris Henry Jr., big-time wide receiver prospect, he's got name pedigree, he's got the tangibles, he's got the height, the length, the speed, everything that you would want in a prospect. What are your expectations of Chris Henry Jr., and how sure are you that he will ultimately end up a Buckeye? Yeah, addressing the second part first, I think he's got a relationship with Brian Hartline that's unlike any other, because Brian Hartline is a guy that offered him in 8th grade, so they've known each other for a while. And you have to remember, Chris lost his dad when he was really young. He's had some different male figures in his life, and I think Brian Hartline is one of the more important male figures in Chris's life. So I think that relationship is going to be very key to Ohio State being able to keep him in the class. And then when it comes to what he can do on the field, I'm never going to say anybody else is going to be able to do what Jeremiah Smith did as a freshman, because I don't know if we could ever see that again, Timmy. But when you look at what Chris Henry could do, I think he could play as a freshman. I don't know if he could put up those numbers. He's got the talent. And I think Ohio State signed a great wide receiver last cycle, signed 4 good ones, and one that was finished as a 5-star for us in Quincy Porter. But I really feel like if you ask Brian Hartline with the true serum that everybody loves to give coaches when we do talking hypotheticals, I think he would tell you he'd take Chris Henry Jr. over any of the wide receivers in 25. And I think that's kind of the case. He fell a little bit in our rankings because he missed a large part of his junior season with a knee injury. But I think when it's all said and done, we're going to see another guy finishing as a top 5 Tiger prospect, 5-star prospect, and number 1 wide receiver coming to Columbus. All right, so I like to ask all of my recruiting guys this as we approach spring football, and we're ready to see some of the class that we just brought in on the field for the first time. Whether that's just workouts or whether that's getting reps in practices, who is a little bit down the list? Like not Devin Sanchez or Tavian St. Clair, but who's someone that you really think is going to make an impact as a freshman for Ohio State? Yeah, as we kind of work down, I think Fahim Delane, the safety out of Washington, D.C., could be a guy that slides in. And obviously replacing Lathan Ransom is going to be a tall task. But I think by the end of his career, you could say Fahim Delane is going to be a type of guy like Lathan Ransom was. He's going to be a great guy in that strong safety role. And then you have a ton of other guys on campus that have already enrolled. I think Quincy Porter's one at wide receiver. He's a big 6'4" outside wide receiver, which I know Ryan Day and Brian Hartline love. But he was, I think, the guy that finished highest in the rankings for us. So that's not one that's going to be really low down the class. I think a guy that down the line in his career could be a good player for Ohio State is Isaiah West out of St. Joe's Prep in Philly. He's a 3-star running back out of there. It was very productive for 4 years there, but he suffered a knee injury in the back half of his senior year. Probably won't play much as a freshman. I think over time he could play a lot. Bogman Miller might be the biggest lottery ticket in the whole class for Ohio State. You're talking about a guy that played only quarterback and really defensive back in high school. But Brian Hartline saw enough of him at camp this summer to take him and hope that he can develop in a wide receiver. He's 6'4", 180, 190. I've heard he's already kind of pushed up near 200 pounds just being on campus for a little bit, and he's got legitimate track speed. So those are the 3 guys, I think, 4 guys, I guess, that I would say from 25 that I really have high expectations for and think they can do something, whether it's as a freshman or throughout their Ohio State career.
Can't wait. Mick, really appreciate you coming on the show. Let's do it again sometime soon.
Anytime, Timmy. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Mick Walker talking some Buckeye football with us, taking us on the trail right here. Good stuff. Taking a look around of what the Buckeyes are into right now. It never sleeps. It's the lifeblood, right? It's what we always say. Got to do it. Got a lot of new assistant coaches as well, and they're all going to be very, very busy trying to put together the 2026 class coming up here and get the finishing touches going on that one. We are going to take a look at Buckeye men's hockey. Rough weekend, but it's not all bad with what this team has already accomplished this season. We're catching up with head coach Steve Rollick. We're ringside with Rollick as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this edition of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you miss anything on the show, it's always available for download wherever you get your audio. Just search up Buckeye Roundtable, see the little logo there, the one that's behind me. And what I mean by that is that you can also watch the show on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search up WBNS Radio. All the episodes are right there. This one is on it live, and they're all libraried as well. So lots of ways to get the show here. Hey, Buckeye fans, you can power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage. It's their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, looking at this Buckeye men's basketball team, we know they need to get healthy. They've been sick. It would be really nice if the flu and the colds would leave that locker room. I don't know if it's going to be able to happen by USC. Jake Diebler today was talking about Aaron Bradshaw, who wasn't there on the trip yet for the UCLA game. They're hoping to get him out there, so hopefully he's getting on a plane maybe by tonight or maybe by tomorrow morning. We will see.
Yeah, we're trying. We've had some good, I think good progress here in the last 24 hours. So we'll find out here more this afternoon. But the plan is, as of right now, to hopefully get him out here and be available tomorrow for practice.
So hopefully that happened in the time when Jake Diebler made those comments around 12:30 this afternoon and 7:30 here Eastern time, that there's been movement there. The Buckeyes could use all hands on deck for these final 3 games down the stretch. Our injury report was presented by Elk and Elk. Serious fans of Ohio State athletics, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
It's time to hit the ice and talk some Ohio State hockey. This is Buckeye Roundtable's Rinkside with Rollick.
Tough games this weekend for the Ohio State men's hockey team, but that's how it goes when you got to go on the road to one of the best teams, really one of the best college teams of all time, and they're really good this year. But I got to tell you, Steve, I really like the effort that you guys gave. Those were good hockey games, especially we go back to that first one. That's a 2-1 game until late. It looks like 4-1 in the final box score, but that's a 2-1 hockey game, and you guys were definitely in the thick of it.
Yeah, Friday, I got to say, I think it was probably one of our best complete games all year.
Yeah.
2-1 with 2 minutes to go in the game, and could have went either way. They get the one late and then the open netter, but I really liked the way we played on Friday. We just didn't get the result. I wish I could say the same about Saturday. We didn't start off very good, but I did like our compete and our relentless finish, and gave ourselves a chance. Got a goal disallowed with 1:22. Would have made it 5-4. So we just got to play consistent. That's the number one thing.
We talk about that all year long, and that's the makeup of your sport. That's the way the schedules are. That's the way you've always done it. But how difficult is that when you have a really grinded out game that you wind up being on the wrong side of? You talk about how well you played, how you loved that complete game in game 1. And then it's tough, isn't it? It's got to be really, really difficult to get up and get your energy levels going for that second game, especially if you took the L that first night.
Well, that's the magic, right? I mean, Minnesota smells blood, and they know they got a chance to sweep, and our backs are against the wall, and you would hope we came out with fire, and we took 3 penalties, which is uncharacteristic in the first period, which really hurt us, and kind of gave them the momentum. So especially on the road, especially at Minnesota, especially how good they are, it's just not a good recipe.
What has a guy like Damian Carfagna been for you here lately? I know his point streak came to an end, but in that first game against Minnesota, but he's given you guys some different things this season for sure.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He just goes about his business. I've said this before. He trains like a pro. He acts like a pro. Plays a ton of minutes for us. Play in every situation. I just can't say enough. I mean, he's a great leader. He leads by example. He's not a rah-rah guy, and we lean on him pretty heavily.
All right, so Steve, the final series of the regular season. Everybody knows it. You're going to want to see the Schottenstein Center rocking. It's the Buckeyes. It's that team up north. We say it every time we talk. For those that have not been in the building for one of these games before, if you're not too busy, I would recommend trying to get some tickets for this one, because just to see the colors out there on the ice and to feel that intensity in the building and everything happening on the ice, it's certainly something that's special.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, we'd love to fill that building up this weekend, Thursday night. I mean, 2,000-3,000 students in that student section, and getting people in the building here to see this rivalry. It's pretty fantastic. This is why you play the game. This is what you look forward to, and we certainly would love to have our fan base out in droves this weekend.
It had been a few years since I'd been in the building, Steve, for an Ohio State-Michigan hockey game, and I apologize for that. Maybe I'll get out there on Thursday or Friday, but I do remember it was as physical as any game I had ever seen in any sport, and it was way more physical than any NHL game I had seen that entire year. So it was awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, it gets pretty. I mean, it's intense. I mean, right? I mean, you got these guys on skates, and you know how fast they can skate and running into people, and it's truly why you train. It's truly why you want to play this game. It's truly why you come to the Ohio State University, to have a chance to play against these guys. No matter who's rated what, you're always going to get your money's worth.
Well, Steve, as we're sitting here in late February, I mean, you can't let 2 losses to Minnesota on the road affect you too much, and I know you guys won't. 20, 10, and 2 is a great-looking overall mark. What do you like about your club right now? What do you want to see these guys continue to improve at as you get ready for tournament hockey?
Well, I think I got a group that's proved a lot of people wrong. I got a group that truly loves one another, love come to the rink. They got a great culture in that locker room. They just want to go about their business and keep getting better, and they've done that. And you know, our league's the best league in the country, playing against the best teams in the country, and it's going to be no different this weekend. I mean, these guys are very, very skilled, a very good hockey team, and again, we got to be at our best.
You mentioned you may have had some doubters going into this year. Is this surprising to you, though? Is this something that you could sense from early on that they could accomplish a year like this?
Well, I really liked their group since this, what I heard with the summer workouts and everything. I mean, these guys were here. They were together. They wanted to do some things, and I think it all started from, you know, what we did at the end of last year. Our success at the end of last year set us up for a good summer training and came in with a lot of confidence. And the only thing that matters is the guys in the room. And what really, truly matters is where you're at in March and April, and that's what we're shooting for.
So break it down once again, this specific Michigan hockey team. Last time they played, they were taking on Minnesota as well. They skated them to a tie. What are you looking out for? What's going to be the difference in this one this weekend?
Well, we're going to see a lot of the same, to be honest with you, of what we just saw this up in Minnesota. I mean, this is a team that can really skate. This is a team that's got a lot of skill. You cannot take penalties against these guys. You just got to stay steady and consistent. And, you know, we want to go out there and play like we did Friday up there in Minnesota and build on that and again, be disciplined in our structure. And that's what's going to give us our best chance.
They got the rest advantage on you guys right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're rusty. I don't know. You know, sometimes it can go either way sometimes with a bye, you know, and maybe we catch them a little bit out of sync, we hope. But we know, you know, what kind of team they have. We do respect that, but we do respect this rivalry, and I know our guys are excited about it.
OhioStateBuckeyes.com, everybody, to keep up with the men's hockey team, with the women's program as well, and to check out the ticket situation for the Michigan games coming up here. I know you didn't get the results against the Gophers, but the coffee still had to be pretty good today.
I don't mind a cup of coffee, that's for sure.
All right, Steve. Have a good one. We'll talk next week. Good luck against the Wolverines.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Steve Rollick, the hockey coach for the men's team, joining us every week here on Roundtable. A prominent college basketball coach had some viral comments that some might say could apply here in Columbus. That's coming up as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey basketball fans, Credit Union of Ohio wants to help you score more by making life more affordable. It's time to play with a team that helps you win every day. Credit Union of Ohio's loan rates have dropped to provide affordable financing for the things you want and need. It's time to reevaluate your current loans and consider refinancing with a team that cares about you. Check out current specials and get started scoring more money at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. The Buckeye men's basketball team returns to action Wednesday night at USC. We've been talking about this one a lot. Our coverage begins at 9:45 with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show here on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Buckeye Roundtable's Ohio College Hoops Update.
Again, I said before, I want to be wrong. Maybe it's just what these last 2 years of Buckeye basketball have done. And this is not, I'm not holding Jake Diebler accountable at all for those last 2 years. He was an assistant on Chris Holtman's staff. Some people have been doing that. Some people have been getting on him for being a part of that. Look, the administration chose what they chose. And I'm not going to blame Jake Diebler for taking this great opportunity. You would have to be foolish to get this opportunity and not take it. He is a first-time head basketball coach. I am taking that into account. And what I've seen is a team that is fighting to get in the NCAA tournament, which was something that Chris Holtman's team could not do in each of the last 2 years. Jake Diebler actually almost got that team last year into the tournament. They beat Illinois at the very end. They are in my opinion. That's how close the margin was. They had a 5-game winning streak. They beat Michigan State on the road with a Dale Bonner last-second shot. They were doing some things. They were making some things happen, and they got to this position. I'm a little skeptical now with what I'm seeing with this team that they ultimately do it, but I want to be wrong. obviously. I want what's best for this program. I want to see them take a step, and I think it'd be a big thing for the fan base, obviously, to see them do that with where things have been. A lot of people are dying to see Buckeye basketball get restored to prominence, or at least to a spot where they are checking off a few things every single year. Now, in saying that, I turned the attention over to the Purdue-Indiana game. And Purdue basketball coach Matt Painter, he has certainly become like an old dog, like an OG of this conference. I mean, he has been there since Gene Cady left Purdue. You're talking about a long, long time. Matt Painter's not Tom Izzo, but I can see some day and age when Matt Painter is sort of that Tom Izzo kind of guy. And Purdue basketball has been doing a lot of really, really good things and consistent things under Matt Painter. They have sort of gone to that next level where I don't know if a lot of, Purdue basketball fans thought that they could do that, but the recruiting is at a different level. They obviously always have bigs. He has checked off getting to a Final Four. He's gotten to a national championship game. They win championships. They compete for championships almost every year. They go to the tournament. They make runs in the tournament. He's had a back-to-back National Player of the Year. It's been a lot. So Matt Painter wants to talk. He's allowed to talk, and people can listen. You can agree or disagree, but he gets to talk. So he was talking about Indiana and their fan base, and he was kind of asked about the future of Indiana hoops and what that should look like, and some of these comments with what he said about fan base, and he said fan bases are not the ones who tweet. That's kind of how he started, and I'll play the rest, and it sounded like this.
A fan base is the people when you're bleeding, they support you. Like, they jump in and off, they jump on and off things here way too much. Like, support your coach, man. Support your players. Don't tweet negative things about them. Like, be supportive. Like, see how that works for you. But they build them up, like, and they overdo things. Like, quit overdoing shit. Just accurately, like, talk about what's actually happened. Like, don't, like, get, like, recruits and, like, that's Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Then they come out here. Well, they're not Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. They're good college players. Like, and then they build it up. And then they go, well, what's wrong? Well, they're part of it, but it's not their total fan base. It's just that everyone has a bad percentage of their fan base now because of Twitter.
All right, so Matt Painter hitting on a lot of things. And look, we've seen some of this over the course of time with Buckeye football. Obviously, we had it with Ryan Day, but at the same time, a lot of the criticisms were valid when you talk about what a program's own expectations and own standards are, is to beat Michigan. Now, those that are calling for him to be fired on the spot when you still have season left, and obviously they were able to get into a playoff system and then win the national championship. No, that would have been dumb to fire him right after the Michigan game. Obviously, proven. It would have been silly. And now he's rebounded to the point where he's got an extension. So look, like, yeah, and I think that did show some things and prove that we can put a lot on one game in a football sense. It is an important game, and part of that you like, that there is passion and there is that much excitement and intensity over what you do and how you perform against one opponent. It still should matter. I think they know that they got to get that figured out a little bit more and start winning that game. They're going to have to go on the road this next time. But as far as how you can maybe bleed that back to Buckeye basketball and where things are now, and also what Matt Painter was talking about with Indiana. Look, I think there's small truths to what he's saying, to each their own with how they want to do it. Right. Like the people that are tweeting negative things, there's also going to be a segment of people that tweet positive things, and there's going to be people that are in your corner. But I think throughout the course of history, whether things were able to be amplified on social media, sports is a hot button thing. It's a passionate thing. You are reliant on your fans to stay invested, to stay interested, because they are the ones that are buying the tickets. They are buying the merchandise. They're, in a way, paying your salary. So whether they are a little bit crazy or whether they're going to yell at you when you're not doing well, they're probably also going to support you when you are. There's that. I think most fans that are going to be really noisy and really negative when you're not doing well, they will also be there to support you when you do good things. you're just going to have to take both from that section, you know? And then it's just whatever kind of person you are. There are going to be those people that will support you blindly no matter what, even when you're doing wrong. It's human nature. That's hard for a lot of people. When they see you play poorly and when they see you not play up to your expectations, it can be hard in that moment to just be, oh, great job, wonderful, let's go get him the next time. That can be hard. I get what Painter's saying. You're feeling it from the other side. At times, you know how hard you're working. You know how hard you're trying behind closed doors. The effort's there. The try, the want to is there. You might not be getting the results that your whole fan base wants, and that makes things divisive. That makes things tricky. I would say for IU, with the actual subject that Matt Painter was talking about there, I don't really blame Indiana fans for being really upset with where their program is because of who they are and how much that should matter. I mean, that Indiana basketball is on that level of Ohio State football, right? You should want it all the time. It should never slack. It should never suffer. Obviously, they haven't made the tournament every year. But for Indiana to be cycling through coaches from Tom Crean to Archie Miller to Mike Woodson, now looking for the next coach. So you're looking at 4 coaches since the 2016-2017 season. I completely understand Indiana fans' frustration and how that cannot be acceptable anymore. There's certain standards. It's competing for Big Ten championships. It's making deep runs in the NCAA tournament. And at the very least, it's getting to the NCAA tournament. And funny enough, Mike Woodson did that each of his first 2 years. But as this season was sort of hitting that spot where they got blown out by Illinois, a lot of people got really upset. Fan base started to turn. Luke Goody then went out there and yelled at Dan Dockich. I think we played his comments a few weeks ago on the show. I mean, he really, really went out there and got at Dan Dockich, who was critical. Look, Dockich can critique. He used to be there. He used to be one of their coaches. He knows what it's like. But Archie Miller run there was not good. Now they're looking for a new coach as Mike Woodson. What if Mike Woodson just reversed and if they did some things here and made a run, he just decides to stay? You know what? Coming back for year 4. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. But let's see what these Ohio State Buckeyes can do down the stretch. I am not so sure that they're going to get in at this point with what I'm seeing. I want to be wrong. I know that this is a team that if some things change, they've got chances. They just have some holes in their roster that won't allow them to make many mistakes. They have to just be purely hot. They got to hit threes. They got to get, their 4 guys, Devin Royal, Mobley, Bruce, and Micah Parrish, healthy, on it. They need everything they can get from Sean Stewart and a guy like Aaron Bradshaw. I don't know if they'll be able to give that with what I've seen consistently over the course of the season, but I really hope they can. I really hope that they can do it. We're going to take a look around the Block O and highlight some other good things that are happening for some Ohio State teams next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's new $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5. It's the new $5 Pizza Pals menu from Donato's. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Buckeye Roundtable is also brought to you in part by Encova Insurance for auto and home, encircling you with solutions you can trust. Encova, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's Around the Block O.
You know, been talking a lot about Buckeye men's basketball, and rightfully so. It's a big topic. It matters to a lot of people. Just been really thinking a lot about the team, thinking a lot about the program, and it's hard not to. And you want to see an Ohio guy like Jake Diebler, when he gets the job, you really want it for him. You want to see him get to feel some of that success of being a guy that, you know, not everybody believed in when he was given the job. And it's not even about proving people wrong. It's just, I think, about the good that he would feel from having some of that success, because this is hard. This is a very hard thing to do. And look, I think he's going to be learning pretty quickly as well when you take a look at the roster construction for this team. And you don't want to fully close the book on that just yet, because the season's still in play. But when it's done, you're going to be looking at everything. And you're going to be looking about what style of basketball do I want to play? Could I run and gun as much? You know, something that never really gets brought up is Taysom Chapman's injury. And I think that, you know, talking to some of my basketball buddies the last 24, 48 hours, it's a thing that mattered. You know, Michi Johnson not being around this team, that matters. That's a big thing. That was an Ohio kid that you have a relationship with, and he's not around the team, and they've been pretty quiet about that. So things like that are tough, and they still have a chance. It's not a good chance right now, but hopefully they can do some things. I am really pulling for them. We know men's hockey had a couple of losses, and talking to Steve Rollick earlier, and they got the big Michigan series coming up. Now, the Ohio State women's program, shout out to them. They're gritty. They're tough. They always grind out wins. They're on a big winning streak since they lost on January 31st to Minnesota. They beat Minnesota after that. They beat St. Thomas in a couple. They beat St. Cloud State in a couple this past weekend, 5-3 and then 3-2. So amazing job by them. I want to look at women's softball for a second. Caitlin Farley named Big Ten Player of the Week. Anytime you grab one of those Conference Player of the Week honors, she hit 667 in 4 games this past weekend. That is red hot, deserving of a Big Ten Player of the Week. That was just announced on today. That just came out today, this afternoon. She collected 10 hits and 15 at-bats as they beat Cornell, Siena, North Florida, and UCF to improve to 9-3-1 on the season. In a pair of the Friday wins, she went 7 for 8 and hit a home run. So that was awesome. Great game. And also, for the third time this season, Jelani Cambridge, Big Ten Player of the Week for women's hoops. Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King is brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association, Mideast Window Nation, and your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. The executive producer is Skip Mossick. And for Bodie Wells, I'm Timmy Hall. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Yeah, we have got another great week of action coming up here all across the Block-O. Looking at Wednesday night as the Buckeye men's basketball team is going to be at USC. The first of 3 games coming down the stretch as they're going to try to do whatever they can before the Big Ten basketball tournament to sprinkle some magic fairy dust on what was a really good NCAA tournament resume. So you take on a USC team that's lost 3 in a row, coming back from Rutgers, going to try to do it. Hopefully Aaron Bradshaw gets out on the trip. Hopefully some of these guys get healthy and they can go out there and get a win. Again, thank you guys so much for listening to Buckeye Roundtable. Always a pleasure. We will see you next week.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit Rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops, receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Winter's here, and as the snow begins to pile up outside, you might find yourself dreaming of warmer days, sunshine, barbecues, fishing, maybe even thinking about those home projects you've been putting off for forever. Why wait for spring to start planning? Now's the perfect time to get ahead. With so many roofing, gutter, and siding companies out there, it can feel overwhelming to know where to begin. With over 30 years of experience and a focus on every detail, Newman Roofing makes it simple. As a family-owned business, they're dedicated to delivering an outstanding customer experience from your first phone call all the way through to the final touches on your home. When it comes to roofing, gutters, and siding, trust the name that's been a local favorite for decades, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you buy from Pella, you could meet Brad, Bob, maybe Mike, or 54 others that make our local Pella team so awesome.
And if you buy from me, you'll get to meet me.
Just a one-man operation, Wilson?
I've got a bunch of cousins helping me, but based on their work, I'm not sure they've got thumbs.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Broadcast